welcome to tonight's episode of Talk and Roll with just the captain today. Hawk is on, now he's starting a new job. So we have returning guest and now her band, Raven from the band, I want to screw this up again here. Bonded by Darkness. I keep wanting to say bonded by darkness. Bound by darkness. Yeah, okay. One more. Bonded by Darkness.
Yes.
There we go. I'm not screwing it up this time. Tell us about yourselves.
You guys go for it. You want me to go? I'm Raven. I'm the lead singer for Bonded by Darkness. Happy to be here.
I'm Joshua. I'm the guitarist for Bonded by Darkness.
I'm Jacius. I'm the bassist of Bonded by Darkness.
Cool. And we've got to talk quite a bit with Raven a couple months ago now, thereabouts. And like I said before, I cannot believe that band name was not taken.
Yeah.
We have that discussion almost every show. We talk about how people got their names and stuff like that. And everybody's like, oh, I had to slightly change my name or do this or do that. And you guys are like, nope, we got it. I'm like,
well, we actually changed the name to that. It was actually called Swamp Funeral first. And then we just,
Yeah.
like one day we were just like, we're going to change the name because it was like a stoner metal. Like, it wasn't very thoughtful, really. It was, so we just thought of a better name and that one came out. So,
well, yeah, you're right. I didn't think about it, but Swamp Funeral, you definitely sound like that. If you're playing that, you're playing like a 40-minute song with long grooves and stuff.
no, that's basically what it was though when we first started out.
Yeah.
We had songs that were like 20 minutes long, didn't we, Jacius?
Yeah. You can
I'm the Fire was like 20 minutes, and then
we had to shorten it down to 10.
Shorten it down to 10.
but most of our songs were like 7-8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Very repetitive stoner, very slow and doomy.
You got to get that groove going. That slow, low groove that all stoner metal has.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's bad. It's stoner metal is one of the ones where I gotta hit the right moment, the right day, and then that's all I want to listen to the entire day.
Yeah, I get that.
So
fair.
What was the transition from Swamp Funeral to Bonded by Darkness?
Like,
what was the how did you to metamorphosize from one to the other?
Well, okay, it was Jacius and I and our old drummer Mike, and then we had a guy named Travis that was singing with us, and it was really slow and very, like
Very doomy.
very grimy and doomy. It was very, very disgusting doomy. And then Raven and I met and we started dating, and we started playing like normal music, rock and roll on the side, and she was in a cover band, and she sang really well, and I was like, man, and she heard a song we recorded with no vocals, and she was like, oh, I can come up with some words for this, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then like within like 10 minutes later, she hit us up, sent me the recording back, and I had to show Jacius, and we were like, oh man, we got to get her in the band and fire the other guy. and it just went from there. I mean, it would just, we're not as doomy. We kind of picked up the pace a little bit, got better equipment to where it sounds more of a modern heavy metal sound, and go in that direction.
Cool. Do you ever like be writing a song and be like, no, that's an old school song. I need to move that over to a new school song.
Well,
yeah,
somewhat.
Yeah, he kind of does that.
Early.
Because I could definitely see that going from, I mean, it's not a complete genre change, but it's pretty close from going from a doomy gloom stoner metal to what you guys are playing currently. That's a hell of a transition from point A to point B.
Yeah, and wait till you hear the stuff we're about to be coming out with sometime this year. It's even heavier.
You just gotta
It's-
switch it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make some more.
Yeah, you got to give everybody the Baskin Robbins. You got to give them 31 flavors instead of just the one. You know,
Yeah.
can't be jacking off on the one time all the time. You know, just
Or you could be like,
just serious.
oh my
I
God.
mean, no one wants to see a set where every song sounds the same. I mean, there is some bands that can pull that off. But I can't do that, man. I'm not.
I mean, AC/DC's been doing it for like 50 years.
Slayer's been doing it too.
Oh,
Well,
fuck.
it's we were talking about the whole, different bands and stuff like that. I was like, I love the band Clutch, and that they legit. I remember one tour, it was Lion Eyes, the company band, and then Clutch. So basically, it was just the same band playing 3 times that night, just as different lineups.
Yeah.
Too much.
Too much. Or,
Yeah.
now, so Raven was the catalyst for the transition from Swamp Funeral to Bonded by Darkness. And was it an easy transition, or did you just like, yeah, this is it, this is our new sound, boom?
That's pretty much how it went, honestly. Heidi came in and we jammed all together, and it just worked pretty well. And we just decided that's how it's gonna be, pretty much.
So did when you were able to do that, since you guys, were you a couple then, or what, did you become a couple later?
Yeah, we were a couple already.
I think we had been a couple for 5 months before I joined your band, right?
No, like 3.
Like 3?
Just, yeah,
Yeah. Did
Just
you
a few months.
so
Something.
I never get to ask this, so I have to ask this. Given the fact that you're a couple that took the band, was there any pushback from the other members when Jason?
That I don't know. I know.
Like pushback,
Like people wanted to keep the other member. Did they want to keep the old sound?
well, Jacius is my son.
Yeah.
So the guy. So and we both agreed that the guy that we had
Wasn't just-
it wasn't just, it just wasn't for us. It just, the whole, just a bunch of stuff, unprofessionalism, just his style. We just didn't gel with him the way we gel with Raven. Everything's a lot better and more of on the same page. It was to be honest with you, you asked if it was hard for us to go through the change. Actually, it was the most easiest thing for us to do.
Okay.
To be honest with you, because well, the way we all connected for one, and the way that she and I was writing music in our other band, we were like, we could feed off each other pretty well. So I hooked her up with the recordings of the songs. I would come over her house every other day. We'd go over the songs a few times, and she had the lyrics for all the songs for the album in
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Ish.
Damn.
So, and had them down and everything. We played a fucking show within a month.
Well, I was on a
I'm not joking. We were on a time crunch because we already had the
They
show
had a
booked.
show booked.
We were going to cancel it, but then she saved our ass. So, because we fired the other guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Was that
even if she came or not, the other guy was going to get fired anyways, no
Okay.
matter what. So, I mean, he just wasn't the dude for us.
Yeah, it was got to go through those growing pains. You can't. Yeah, you got to.
And that guy was a good friend of mine too. So, yeah, and because of this band shit, he's not my friend anymore. So
that happens. I
kind of stupid.
yeah, unfortunately. I mean, it's friends and business sometimes don't go together, even if it's the music business. So
That's why I'm almost like to the point where I'm glad that my son's in the band. I'm glad she's in the band, but I really don't want to be in a band with a friend anymore because you lose friends over stupid shit.
Oh yeah.
Seriously. I mean, I'm not
100%.
saying I'm not friends with Nathaniel, the guy we have in the band. I mean, but I just met him. He's not a guy I've known for 20 years like the other guy. The other guy I went to school with. I've known him since I was fucking 14 years old, dude.
Wow. Holy
And I'm
shit.
45, so I've known him for 35 years, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
So,
I,
or
I
31 or whatever years it was. Yeah.
totally get that. That's why people, literally my best friend, he sometimes works for me, but I worked for him for years. Now he works for off and on for me. And people go, why didn't you go into partnerships with him, man? I was like, no, we want to stay friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you just know.
Because we would definitely butt heads at a certain point. Because I'm not gonna lie, our wives don't get along, and it's one of the ones where it's just like, I'm good, we're good, I'm fine where I'm at, and you know what, if times get a little tough or whatever, I could been able to get out of it, so I don't need a partner. I got a partner, my wife. That's the end of the discussion.
Yeah. True that.
And you guys are doing almost what I mean, I'm going to compare myself to you guys, but you're doing what I did. I mean, my business, me and my wife, my son works for me. So, I got to deal with my son, and he just gives me a little bit of shit. I give him money and buy him stuff, and then we're fine. The kid makes out like a bandit. He's 20 some years old, and he's an adult, but where else is he going to get a job where his dad comes in and goes, I got you a helmet. It's a $100 Star Wars helmet. There you go. Go away. Go away.
That's awesome.
Sometimes you get more things done that way just because you're around each other a lot. So we're always, I mean, when we're all together, even with his other son, Jeff, and no one's playing a guitar, I start looking around like, is someone ill or something? So, I mean, there's always someone playing a guitar, jamming, something when we're all together.
It's got to be good for like just putting the music together, because you don't have to be like, if you get an idea, you don't have to like write it down and hope that you can remember to tell your buddy the next day. I don't know if you're like me and my wife. I have a horrible habit. I wake her up and be like, I remembered what I was going to tell you. She's like, I'm sleeping. I was like, yeah, I know it's 3 a.m, but I remembered what I was going to tell you. So you guys can be like, I got this idea for this riff or this idea for this, and you could just instantaneous. There's no you're waiting for the communication to happen.
Yeah.
So, it's I gotta talk to you guys. When I'm assuming you've been in music for quite a while, probably. How long have you been playing?
With me?
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Since 1996.
96.
Yeah.
Senior year of high school?
10th grade.
10th grade? Okay.
10th grade, yeah.
Okay.
Been playing in bars since 1999.
Cover band?
No.
Oh.
Always been in original bands. I haven't been in a cover band since high school.
Oh wow. So is that where Swamp Funeral came from back then?
No. Man, I've been in like fucking 40 bands, dude. Yeah. God, I can't even tell you how many bands I've been in. And all different kinds too. Like anything from death metal to punk to
Blues.
yeah, blues, rock and roll, pretty much anything, man. I mean, not no R&B or anything, but yeah, I mean, and most of that stuff was all original shit. We do a couple covers, but most of it was all original. So I can play a lot of different styles of music. I just like playing I guess you'd call it like hard rock, heavy metal was what we're on, I think,
Yeah, it's got like a bit of a power metal Nightwish kind of feel.
Really?
Yeah, what I think. I mean,
Man, I've heard so many different versions of our band, man. I'm serious. I've heard every time I hear someone say, "Man, your band sounds like this," I'm like, God, no one says the same thing
Mhm.
twice, not one time.
One
Hell,
person,
someone said we sound like Metal Church. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. We do not sound like Metal Church,
do you remember
dude. There's no way.
do you remember
Uh,
when we were looking for a drummer and this one chick says that we sound like Tool?
Yeah, what the fuck is that, dude? It doesn't even make any sense at all. It doesn't make sense at all because we're not even like relatively in the same country as that band.
It's flattering, but wow.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
I think sometimes
yeah, that's
people
cool.
just don't know. Me, Hawk and I have had this discussion on doing the subgenres, the continuously shoved
Yeah.
genres of metal and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I grew up, there was metal, and thrash and death came along, and then black metal came along, and then you start getting the slightly smaller because black metal spun off of death metal, and then
Yeah.
then you have ambient mood death metal, and then you have you're like, oh, do we need this? I could just say I liked it when I was in high school when it was just metal.
Well, it's kind of hard to classify our music. There's just so many different bands and stuff that we all have like
Mhm.
influences, you know, that kind of, and sometimes a lot of those influences are mixed in one song, and sometimes just one of those influences are kind of like based on that, and then we just kind of pile other influences on top of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she's got a lot of different influences that are completely different from mine because I'm mostly like really heavy metal, and she is rock and roll. Jacius is more new metal, like Corn and shit like that. And I'm not. I'm not even. I mean, I like Corn, but I'm not. I'm not into. I'm not writing Corn riffs. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even in my mind when I'm writing that shit. So
So who was your biggest influence when you picked up when you started
well,
playing?
to get me started, really would have to be between Tony Iommi and Kurt Cobain. Obviously, would be the first. But the biggest influence would have to be Zach Wild or Dimebag Daryl. Like those were like the guys that got me into like wanting me to be a heavy metal guitarist. It's like shit. And Tony Iommi, he's obviously the Kirk Winstein, obviously from Crowbar, has got to be one of the biggest influences on me. He's
Great, severely
so
underrated, dude.
yeah,
Severely underrated.
actually probably one of the best musicians in the world. And he's like, like you said, severely overlooked.
Yeah.
It's like, and he's in so many different bands, like Kingdom of Sorrow. That's another
Kingdom of
band that's,
Sorrows, fucking awesome.
dude, it's just brutally amazing. It's like so brutal, it's beautiful. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
how do you make something so badass out of that? Same with Crowbar. They got all those weeping guitar solos and harmonies and shit, and it sounds amazing. I don't know any other bands that do that shit.
oh,
Yeah,
and then it's funny because when you look at him, he's just a big old burly dude, and you're like hitting
he's
his
awesome. Dude.
fucking. Oh, you're
I
just
met him
like,
a couple times too, and he's a really great guy. It was. I almost cried the first time I met him, and it's like second or third time I was just like, man, I can't believe that we keep. And he's like, oh, it's cool, man. It's all cool. And we just moving stuff for him and bring guitars in and shit. And because we've opened up for him at the Agora, and he just needed help moving some stuff out of his big ass RV that's right next to the building. So I was like, fuck yeah, I was right there. I was helping him. No big deal. Cool dude. Yeah. Got to have a cold one with the old one. We drank a couple beers. He was a good guy,
oh yeah,
nice dude.
hell yeah. So I got JCS. How outside of your dad, how did you get into music?
Uh, um, it's honestly just been mainly through my dad. My dad pretty much taught me everything. Well, he taught me the basics, and I basically branched out on my own by
Yeah.
mainly learning Nirvana riffs on guitar to playing like Geezer Butler. It's how it is. But my dad's my main influencer, really.
That's cool.
I grew up watching him jam, and our house is filled with instruments. It's an instrument in every room. We should add one in the bathroom. It's great acoustics, Dad. I'm just saying. But
I think that's the only one we don't have a guitar in, isn't it? Pretty much.
oh, for many reasons, but yeah.
Sit on a toilet.
No,
But-
no, never touching that guitar again.
Nope.
Yeah, nah.
Put it aside. You know, the family dynamic of this is really good. I gotta ask, and you can say no, whatever. Jacius, how did you feel when Raven came into the band?
So my dad, he came up to me and he's like, Raven. Raven was gonna do some vocals for a band and whatnot. And at first I was very skeptical. I was like, I don't know about that. A female vocalist and what we had I was like, doom metal and whatnot at the time. I was like, I cannot imagine that sounding good. And then my dad came up to me and with the recording and whatnot, and he played it in front of me, and I thought it sounded really good. I was like, wow, I'm actually kind of excited for this. And then we got together and jammed out, and the rest is history. It's just that. But at first, I was very skeptical and whatnot.
Well, it seems to be working out in your guys' favor. And just it's you guys can be have more solidarity because family, you're quote unquote a family. And I think being in a band, you can hold on to more, I guess, because it's not just yours or theirs, it's ours.
Oh yeah.
And yes, you have an additional person in the band that probably puts their
Oh yeah,
input.
Nathaniel's great, dude. Now that we have him in the band, shit comes together like really good. Like things that he does things that I didn't even think of. Like we came up with a new song and I was presenting it to him after I went over to his house and I recorded it for him to a click track. And like a couple weeks go by, and we're like, we're gonna get together and go over the song. So I go over there and I start playing, and like he's not playing. He's just looking at me, and I look at him and I stop playing. I'm like, you gonna come in? He's like, oh, I'll come in when she starts the chorus part. I'm like, okay. And I started explaining him what I was thinking in my head, but then I just stopped and I was like, well, let's just do what you're doing. And I never went back after his idea was way better than mine. So it was just like, and just shit that he comes up with for drum beats and stuff and fills and how he carries the songs and stuff is a lot better than what we had. No offense to the other drummers that we've had in the band, but yeah, Nathaniel's definitely the guy for us. That's for sure.
Is it hard? With the music scene up there, we've talked to a lot of people from the Akron, Youngstown, Cleveland area, and there's just a lot of bands up there. Was it hard to find a good drummer? Because I mean, just with the amount of bands up there, there's got to be some. I guess people are going to not want to let these people go. If they're like, I got this really good drummer, you can't have him. Something like that.
We were scrambling there for
Yeah.
A hot second.
for like a month. Yeah.
And then we had a guy who came in and
Just wasn't it.
yeah, it just didn't work out. Which we love the guy personally, though. I love the dude. Mike is a great guy. And then the guy Nathaniel was the guy who filmed our first video on Dancing on Your Grave. So the guy who cut the video is actually our drummer.
Yeah.
And when I met him, I knew he played drums. And I was like, hey, we fire the guy that you seen in the video. We need a drummer. Why don't you come try out? And we hooked him up with the music. This dude learned the whole fucking CD in like 3 weeks and was ready to play a show. We practiced twice and we played a gig.
Because we were on a time crunch again, because we were opening for a bigger name band, and we were like, listen, we got to have our shit together. And he came in and had his shit together. So I was like,
Amazing musician,
Yeah.
was on it like flies on cat shit, dude. Like, bam, I no mess up, no nothing. Came over and played on my drum set and everything.
Persistent.
Yeah, really, really well. We just like looked at each other and was like, well, we're ready. After the first practice, it was like, we're ready for a show. We couldn't believe it.
Mhm.
It was kind of crazy, actually.
That's amazing to be
Yeah.
able to pull stuff that together that fast in just a handful of weeks.
And I'm
be able
all
to
like,
do-
how many times you playing them songs a day? Right? I'm like, you have to be hammering them all day. Like, you have to be. He's like, oh, I just play them a couple times a week. I'm just like, kidding me? And you play it like that?
oh, some people are like that, man. They
Oh man.
Yeah, just
it's
dripping
like,
with talent, you know?
yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Nathaniel's one of them guys.
Yeah.
He's good. Yeah, he's good.
He's probably got the I give my youngest son a lot of crap. I love him to death, but he's got a little bit of autism. Well, he's got autism. He ain't got a little bit. The kid plays drums like when he wants to, picks them right up like that. And so I'm always wondering if that a lot of these guys who can just hear music and be able to play it immediately might not have just a little bit of autism to be able to control. Yeah, okay.
I think I got it.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what my day job is, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So I completely agree with you
Yes.
on that assumption.
Oh wow. Because it's amazing, especially when they can just like, yeah, I got it. Do you want it? No, I got it. Not even have the guitar around. They just pick up the guitar.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. That is.
yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, it's how it was. I'm like, what? We played the first song and there was like no mess ups. Like, it was just like he came in and was like,
Like he wrote them.
yeah, it was like he's been our drummer for years. It was weird, man. I just looked at him like, are you kidding me right now? He's like, what? I'm like, how many times you play them songs, man?
That
A couple times a week. I'm like, no way. I ain't buying that line of shit.
and he continues that level. Doesn't
Oh yeah, he's
Oh,
amazing. It would have took me a month to learn that CD.
it took
I
him-
really would have. I mean, yeah, he was double down on it. I couldn't believe it. I thought we were gonna have to like,
Fall out that shit.
yeah, I really thought we were gonna have to cancel that show.
It's close.
I mean, it just is what it is. The first show that Nathaniel played, you remember?
What?
We only had him for a drummer for like what?
2-3 weeks
Yeah, maybe a month at the most.
at the most, I think.
You remember that, Jacius?
Yeah.
who'd you
Oh, I thought you
open
said
up
something.
for?
Frail.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that's right. We did. We opened up for Frail.
Yeah.
So that was like one of the most important gigs.
Mhm.
Yeah, you definitely cannot pass on that. That's dirt.
Yeah.
You can't out on that shit.
Mhm.
So now that you've got your team, got your family, got your drummer,
Hmm.
you're working on new music now? Or are you still okay?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you
We
one of the
love
people that's
writing.
always got to be working on new music, even when you're like, it's always in your head, like notes and shit everywhere?
Well, gee, I don't know.
His phone, he has like over 200 recordings.
Oh no. It's not that. It's
I think it's like 300 now.
no, it's more than that. It's
It's more than that.
It's more than
I got 426 riffs saved into my phone.
he has like a whole library in
I'm
there.
not lying, dude. There's 426 riffs on this.
I'm just
says
amazed you got
right there.
426 riffs
Yeah,
on your
426.
phone. That's I'm like surprised you don't pick up like a hard drive or something like that.
It's
This is like my
it's,
next 18 albums. We'll just put that off this.
even if it's just like a snippet of a song, or there's some of them recordings on there are like full 5-minute recordings of some shit. But then there's some stuff where I'm like, just noodling around with like Middle Eastern scales and shit, and because I'm kind of obsessed with Middle Eastern music. So,
Okay.
but a lot of that stuff's kind of like that. But but most of those riffs on my phone though I write everything on an acoustic first.
Okay.
But you're also the kind of creative mind where
Yeah, it never
once
stops.
he gets on a kick, he wants to keep going
Yeah.
and going and going because he's just on this creative high.
You want to keep that roll
So-
going, man. You don't want to screw that up. If you get that roll
No.
going, you feel like
And then I just record it, and then if we have time to get to it, cool. If not, then I just listen to it whenever we get back to it, and then if we ever get to it, like I said, I got like so many riffs, but some of those riffs are from other bands too. Like I got riffs for Black Smoke Highway, which is our other band. It's like a bunch of music that's just rock and roll. And then my other son Jeff and I, we do other, really hard, slow doom music. So I got some of those riffs and stuff saved on my phone for that band too. So just some other shit. It's a bunch of shit.
How many bands you get? 3 now?
Yeah, well, 2, but once Jeff and I get things going, my other son, yeah, it'll be 3. It'll be 3. But
Family.
it all comes in cycles,
Yeah. So are you legit like be sitting there like you wake up, you're like, I got an idea, run in, start playing a little bit. Like, okay, gotta write instead of writing it down like old school, you gotta jot it down. You just gotta hurry up, get it out of your head.
No, when that happens, usually I don't have a guitar in my hand, and I'll just say like
Sing it.
I'll just hum it or sing it into my phone, and I'll make it into a song when I go home. There's been plenty of times that I do that at work. I'll just walk outside and be like, until I'm, blah, 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 or or chugga, 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 or whatever. And then I go home and try to figure it out. If that's, most of the time it's still stuck in my head and I can just go home and figure it out. But there's been times where my day was so full of shit that whatever that was just a glimpse in time, and I have to remember that. Or if not, it's just another recording that I delete or whatever.
See,
So
that's my problem. If I forget something, it's gone. It's
Me too. Me too.
it's gone.
Yep.
That's why I
Way
told
too
you.
hard over the years for that shit.
That's why I told you. Literally, if I remember something, I don't care what time it is. I'll text my son or go upstairs and wake my wife up, and she'll be like, "What?" I'm like, "I told you I couldn't remember. Now I remember. I have to get it out now. Go to bed." Like, all right, I'll go back downstairs.
I've woken up from dreams and I've had melodies in my head. I have to grab my phone right away and I sing it to the phone, and then I'll play it for him and be like, "Can you play this on the guitar?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, I think." I use my guitar voice.
Oh man. So it's one of them ones where like me, I haven't been in a band in forever, but I guarantee you I still have a notebook around here where I've jotted lyrics down, like just in case. I don't
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you never know. Never know. My kid wants to be in a band one day. Maybe I'll just play with him. So
That's the way to go.
heck
Mhm.
yeah. So
It's easier to get down with get the material down with your kid because you're always around.
yep.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah, my son's he's usually, matter of fact, he's upstairs right now, but he's usually down here with me hanging out. So so how Jacius, how do you fit into the writing and the process and stuff?
Well, it mainly goes with Raven and my dad and one. They talk to one another. They figure out the lyrics and the rhythm, or my dad will come to me and we'll figure out the rhythm and pretty much the main base of the song. And then we would pretty much. I'm basically like the second hand. My dad and Raven. Sorry, Raven. My dad and Raven talk it out and whatnot, figure out the base of the song and whatnot. My dad will come to my house and we will pretty much how would I put into words? Figure out the structure of it, how many times we play this riff and whatnot, and then we go to Nathaniel, and then we pretty much all together just put the pieces together. It's pretty simple.
Okay. So it starts with you two, moves to you, and then moves to the drummer. So it's all just, it's an assembly line of music. You got to put that together, bring it over here, and then finished product comes out the end. So
And usually when I'm showing Jacius, when we're bouncing off ideas and stuff, I've already went over to Nathaniel's house and laid a bare bones track of what's going on. So when we all get together, it's like we've already jammed the song, and we just like within a couple practices, that shit's down really tight. Works out very well for us.
yeah, it's especially, you know, being in a band. You, like you said, you've been in a band for 35 years or so, and pounding, and that's got to work really well in your, you know, for you, because you know what to do, you know what you did wrong in the past. You're like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
fix this. And you know, you're not like some of these bands who just keep making the same mistake and falling over themselves. It seems like you guys really got it down, like almost like a, you know, scientific formula. You've
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope that's the way I mean,
Sometimes there is just like kind of a scientific method to it.
I just hope it's working out, because like, I mean, I'm glad you dig it, because I don't want to fucking waste my time. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
not sound like I'm wasting my time, but you know what I'm saying? I'm in it to win it.
Oh yeah.
I want to go somewhere. I want to play gigs. I definitely want to travel and stuff. And the more people that dig it, the more I'm like, oh, cool. Then what we're doing is, you know, it's getting traction, I hope. You know, and we try not to write the same song twice. So like every song we have is trying to be like a different style in some way or form. Even if it does kind of sound like it's written by the same person, or the two people, or same three people, or whatever. I still want it to sound like it's a different song compared to the next song. So I hope we pull that off. I think we do.
Well, when I was listening to, you're right. I mean, the first time I listened to your music, I almost had a Heart meets Black Sabbath feel.
That's exactly what we're
Yeah.
basically going for.
And
Thank you. I love that. Yeah.
and then, you know, then I heard another song and I'm like, okay, well, you're getting that little bit of a Nightwish feel. And then, you know, I hear this song over here and it's got a little bit, but it the overlying one is the kind of the, I guess, the Heart meets Black Sabbath. And, you know, it works. You guys got that good sound. Yeah, you've been able to move, you know, so none of your songs sound like repetitive or like the exact same thing, which is
Yeah.
what you get a lot of nowadays. But you guys don't really have that. And it's very, very cool, very, very tight sound. And you can tell it's from, you know, years of putting in the work. And, you know, even though you're, you know, young, you know, you've been playing since probably since your dad handed you a guitar. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. So you know, you may not have the, what is it? May not have the mileage, but you have the years without.
What helps is being in, like, you know, school's band and marching band and whatnot. That helps a lot when it comes to.
Yeah. Jacius plays multiple instruments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
try.
You try. Well, what do you play?
Well, I played the alto sax in the school band. Obviously, I play bass. I play guitar. I tried learning piano. I just need to get a piano and practice. I know the notes and whatnot and how to read sheet music, so that pretty much is the main thing for piano. I can play somewhat of a trombone. That's very hard to do, though. That's really about it. Ukulele. Yeah, it's honestly about it.
That is you're a well-rounded musician. You're,
Yes.
yeah,
Again,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's neat seeing a family that has music in their heart and in their lives. And, you know, you could tell you're very passionate about what you do. and you've put a lot of time and effort, and you'll get a lot of these bands who, you know, they put a little bit of effort, a little bit of time, and they're like, well, why aren't we making it yet? Why aren't we making it yet? It's because you ain't got your shit together. You need to you need to figure that out. Then you can, make it. But the ones was it fake it till you make it doesn't are the ones that can fake it. They might show a little bit, but the ones that make it are the ones that don't fake it at all.
Yeah.
And,
Definitely gotta pay your dues, man.
Oh,
Definitely gotta pay your dues.
So, all right. Well, I got to ask Graven this one last time, so I got to ask both of you guys. I love hearing this one. Tour horror stories. Being on the road, bad shit's gotta.
I probably know what they're gonna say, but
So,
You got it about the time we were driving back from PA.
oh yeah, the snowstorm.
Why don't you tell them? I've been
Yeah.
blabbing. You tell them.
So we used to drive this like 98 GMC like Astro van that had almost 200,000 miles. We used to take that thing all over the place.
Yeah. It was a
Whatnot.
trooper. It hauled our band equipment for 10 years, dude.
Yeah, and this
10
was
years.
so we go to Erie, PA to play a show. On our way back, Erie, PA is like what? It's 3-hour drive.
It's like 2 hours,
Two.
2 hour and 20 minutes.
And on our way back, this just starts snowing. Snowing its ass off. And we're seeing cars literally in the ditch on the highway and cars covered and whatnot. It was terrible. And we're driving like 35, 40 on a highway in this damn van full of a crap ton of band equipment. And somehow, I don't know how we made it, but we did with a broken windshield wiper because we had to keep flicking it to get the ice off it so it would actually keep.
Oh man, God, that was a fucked up night, man. It was all like this. It was all fucked up, man. It was awesome.
I'm just so glad the van had heat.
Yeah, or we would have been screwed, dude.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, that van was definitely on its last leg. It was a trooper. But it definitely had no problem getting there and coming back, though. I can't believe how bad it snowed.
Yeah.
It wasn't
even in the forecast.
But like on our way there, it was like barely snowed. So we get to Erie, and I guess it was snowing. There was a little bit of snow on the ground. You remember that? And then we all load our band equipment. We parked the van, and dude, we all looking out the door, going, "Holy shit!" It looked like a fucking blizzard from hell. Like it looked like 1978 blizzard all over. Like I'm looking out the door, going, I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, as soon as we get off the stage, we're probably gonna have to leave, or we're not gonna make it home, man. And we ended up staying the whole time. Didn't get in the van until like almost like what 1.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get home until like 3:30 in the morning.
No,
It was like 4, wasn't it?
I got home at like 4:15.
Oh, okay.
So guys.
So our 2-hour van trip became 4-hour road trip on the way home because of the snow.
Yeah.
It was insane. I think it was the worst snow I've ever driven through, I think.
Yeah, we're trying to go up a hill in this van, and it was a hard time going up it.
It was like, whoa, barely making it. I looked at him, I was like, if we have to coast back with the 10,000 pounds of band equipment in the back of this van, I hope to God no one's behind us, because they're gonna get smacked big time. Yeah, we barely made it, man. You probably could have got out and ran faster than that van when we got to the top of that hill. I'm not even lying. I was like, I thought we were not gonna make it. It was crazy. That was a messed up night.
I know how it is going to conventions and dragging the convention van going up hills, especially over in Pennsylvania, and you're like, because it's straining to get up in big ass hills.
Oh, dude.
And there's no bad weather, more or less snow on the ground.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the snow was like up to my knees.
It was
like almost up to the bumper of my van on the side of the road, where those people were like, I swear, I don't know if they were like camping or if they were just like, I don't know, man. But there was like 4 or 5 cars off to the side of the road. And then there was like plow trucks, and the snow was just like being like hoofed over those cars, man. I'm like, oh man.
Mhm.
So I mean, yeah, it was weird. It was a weird night.
How many
Yeah.
years ago was that?
How many years ago?
Yeah.
That was what, 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Years
Yeah.
ago. Okay. So it was a long time.
Where
March, at the end of March. It was at the end of
Oh, yeah, we
March.
got
Yeah, it was
that
when we
late
first started.
snow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't even
remember
like
that. We didn't get hit that
Shit.
hard, but I remember getting a big snow down here at that time. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
like their 4th show, wasn't it?
together as a band.
Yeah. It wasn't that. I mean, that was the first year we started.
Yeah.
That's when we had Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So we were only a band for like 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Was it a good show? Did you?
Oh, we had fun. but
Yeah. it
Pretty good.
was.
Yeah, it was a good time. So it's always cool to play places I've never been to.
What's
Especially another state.
Yeah.
That's half the fun right there. I mean,
Oh,
just
yeah.
traveling there and playing somewhere you've never even seen before. That right there is worth it, let alone getting to play there.
Well, I'm glad you guys picked that story because I talked about Baltimore.
It smells like someone pissed in our freaking heater. God, that place smelled so bad. It smelled like a nursing home, dude.
Well, I don't know about
It smelled like rotten ham and piss.
Ugh.
I'm not joking, dude. It did. It smelled like someone who hasn't washed their ass in like a month.
It was bad.
It was terrible, dude. It was bad. It smelled like a nursing home. And I swear to God, we get there, we turn on the air conditioner. I'm standing right in front of the air conditioner. And I'm like, did someone seriously piss in this thing? It smelled like someone just like literally went to the bathroom in there.
Yeah.
Didn't it? It was bad. And you had to smell it all night. That was the worst hotel I've ever stayed in my life, dude. That place was terrible.
Remember the fire alarm that kept chirping,
Oh,
chirping
man, yeah.
all night?
Then the dude downstairs, I kept leaving like every half hour, probably dealing drugs.
No.
It was weird. You could just, all the shit you seen, it was just really weird. The whole hotel was like covered in graffiti. It was weird, dude. It was
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, shit. A few years ago, my wife and I went to New Orleans for our anniversary,
Oh,
and I was like, I just want to drive straight there. She's no, I want to stop in Birmingham so we can get rest and then go on down. And she goes, well, I found this hotel. It's nice and it's not expensive. And we see the pictures, and the pictures are, okay. Well, we prepaid for everything, so we just go in, boom, go. We roll in, and it's not the worst hotel I've ever been in, but it might be the scariest hotel I've ever been in. I legitimately walked in the wrong room first, and because none of the doors were locked, I just walked into
Whoa.
another room. I walked in, and we're like sitting there trying to find our room. I'm like, I'm already here. I had to use the restroom, so I went in there, used the bathroom in the room that wasn't ours. So we go out, we find our room, because it's at like these weird angles. So you get in, you gotta go this way, and then that room, then the one across, and then you gotta go over, and then back around this thing. We go in, and it's you ever see those pictures when it's like a squatter has moved into a house? That's what this room was.
Oh.
It was legit like a TV was like half hanging. It had like the cable box was hanging from the TV. There was no drawers in the dresser.
Oh,
The
What?
locks were all kind of shady. And I'm sitting there and I kept looking at my wife and I'm like, I checked the bed. I pulled up everything because I'm like, I worked at hotels, so I knew, always check for bugs. So I'm like flipping the mattress, I'm looking through everything. I'm like, okay, it's clean. It even smelled clean because you could still smell the cleaner, which made it kind of even worse. And she goes, we're just sleeping. We're getting up in the morning. We're gonna go eat breakfast. We're gone. I'm like, okay. And I'm sitting there and I keep laying there and I keep waking up and I look over at the door and I went, so I grabbed the chair and I shoved the chair up underneath the door.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I put shit in front of the door and I'm like,
Yeah.
if they do break in, they gotta go through a bunch of shit before they get
Yeah. You'll wake up.
You'll
They-
definitely know. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so we got up the next morning and I'm like, all right. So we go in and take the shower and it's the super shady shower. It's got like, the little stream of water. So I'm like, trying to get, but
Well,
we
you can
get
piss
it.
harder than that thing can spray.
But nothing happened. It was just kind of just a piece of shit hotel. The worst hotel I've ever stayed in was I did a convention up in Michigan. I couldn't even tell you where it was. We go in, it's starting to snow. We get in this room, it's colder than hell. So I turn on the heat. Me and my buddy go down the street, we get food, we come back. It's like a sauna. It like got hot like that. So I'm like trying to
Wow.
adjust the heat and everything. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to sleep. We gotta get up early in the morning, blah, blah, blah. We get up the next morning, I go in there and I open up a shower. There's literally a crack down the center of the bathtub about that wide. And you can see that the water had been running because it's not sharp or anything. So I'm like,
What?
all right, well, I guess this is where I'm taking a shower. So I'm just taking a shower, watching water pour down through a giant crack in the back.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And
Um,
then we get up, we go to the convention, and we drive past all the cars that are off the interstate because it snowed like hell while we were asleep.
yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, touring. See, I don't have touring convention. I have convention stories where we go to shady hotels and shit like that. So, is that your horror story there, or do you got another one? I don't know. No other horror stories.
No,
Not really. I mean,
Yeah.
No,
No.
you want to tell anybody, huh? Okay.
well, I mean, I could tell you a story that from another band, though. I mean, I played hundreds of shows.
Yeah.
But we played this. I was in a band called Zero. This was we were straight up death metal. We were scouted by Metal Blade Records in the it'd be early 2000s. But anyways, we played this place called the Flying Machine in Lorraine, and we ended up calling it the Flying Mullet because it was a shithole. But it was like December and the place was like freezing and stuff. And I had the flu, full blown flu, and I didn't want to call off the show. I was like 25. So like in between songs, man, no joke. We had this big 5-gallon fucking 5-gallon bucket that was a Budweiser bucket that we filled up with ice and put beers in. And in between songs, dude, I Ralphed in that thing like 5 times.
Jeez.
Yeah. In between songs, man, seriously. Like there'd be like breakdown parts and I'd be like, I'm not even joking, dude. Like, I'm not even joking. Like the last song, I'll never forget it. I had the shit running down the side of my mouth and I was just waiting for the song. I was just like, oh, just waiting for it at the end. I'm not joking. So I'm like holding my puke as I'm playing. I'm not joking, dude. I swear to God on my dad's ashes, dude. It was like I would have to say it was probably the worst time I've ever played in my entire life out. Because like I felt like, do you know what it's like when you have the flu? You don't want to do nothing. Your body aches. You feel like shit, sluggish, tired, slow. You feel like you're half drunk because you're like dizzy and probably have to hydrate from puking and shitting your brains out all day. And that's exactly what I did. And they were like, oh, we're still doing it. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I walk over to this dude that was part of our crew. And I'm like, get the bucket ready, man. I'm going to need it. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, I think I got a yak, dude. And he's like, are you serious? And then I was like, yep. And I had to turn around and play the song. We were playing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then the song was over. I looked over, I'm like, and he's like, and I walked over and it's like, brrr, and he's like, I can't believe you're fucking puking at a show. He's like, I can't believe you're puking at a show, dude. It's like, it sucked, man. It sucked.
Yeah, the flu will fuck you up. We had another band, their guitar player, I think it was a guitar player, got sick, basically shit in a bucket. And continued playing. He would just run back, and then they kept playing. A dedication, man. You got to do it at a certain point. But it is bad. Literally, I think it was one of our first bands we ever interviewed. I think the guitar player tried to stab the bass player on stage.
Whoa.
No.
Yeah,
wow, that's
like during a
crazy.
show, he like got pissed off at him, like tried to stab.
don't eat Dad.
No.
What's that?
So don't get any thoughts.
I ain't gonna do none of that shit.
You
Got
guys
shittings and stabbings.
shitting and stabbing. No. You guys got a really good relationships, and you can tell you have very much the three of you.
Oh,
You know-
you don't even know the shit we do. It's fucked up. Especially Jacius,
Say it like that.
especially Jacius and I. We have some good times. Seriously, we have some great times, especially on the way to shows. It's like we have this ritual where we just blast the fuck out of the Misfits wherever the hell we go, and we're just screaming songs the whole way there and having a blast and shit. And
See,
yeah, it's fun, man. It's great being in a fun. It's great being in a band with your son.
yeah.
It's probably one of the coolest things ever. Looking over and seeing your son kick ass with you on stage. It's probably the coolest thing ever.
It is. My older son's not in the band with me, but he's my partner in crime. Me and him go do so much shit together. He's been my con buddy, helping me with shows forever. And we're not as cool as you. We don't. I'm not gonna lie. Misfits come on, they get sang, but we sing the dumbest songs driving down the road.
Listen, those are the best songs to sing. Come on.
Well, it was real bad a couple of years ago. One of my friends goes, "Yeah," he goes, "I pull up to the light and I can hear these people just singing freaking Queen at the top of their lungs." And he goes, and then the car drives by and I realize it's you and your kids. Yep, probably.
Queen's awesome though.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, we were probably I don't know what, but yeah, we were singing Queen. And real fun is I did this the other day because my son that plays drums, if he doesn't want to hear a song, he'll like hit the skip button or he'll come up and put his hand over my mouth and stuff, and he doesn't want me to sing it. And right now, the song that he does not want me to sing is Total Eclipse of the Heart. And that just makes me sing it more. And I'm legit walking through Kroger's with the cart with him. He's 13. He's my size, bigger than me because he's like 220 and he's my height. And he's a big kid. And I'm sitting there and it comes on through the music and I just start singing it. And I'm not being quiet about it at all. I'm walking down the aisles just singing top of my lungs. And Ben's like, "No, Dad, no." And he keeps doing this. And that makes me sing louder. And all these people are just watching us walk by. And they're laughing their asses off. And they're just like,
I like that.
That's awesome.
but you got to have that. It's you got to have good relationship with your children. And you guys, you're in a band with both your kids, one band over here, one band over there. I have friends of mine that look at me and they're like, "Why are you always with your kid?" I'm like, "Because I love my kid and he's one of my
kid.
Why would you not be always with your kid?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean,
Especially if he's over 21. I mean, he's a man. You guys already have stuff you can relate to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, it's easy to definitely be on a, my other son, he's 17. I mean, we still have a really, really good relationship, obviously, but we have to kind of tone it down. He's still a kid.
yeah.
It's not like how it is with Jacius, and I mean, go out and have a beer and go out and race hell a little bit and shit, and
My kids, we went up to a show up in Detroit and we now have a bonding moment. We got booted out of an IHOP in Woodboro, Michigan. So we
All right.
and it wasn't our fault. It was a total 100% the people that worked at IHOP. But yeah, we got that. So my son was messaging. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "We're on our trip to go see Health, blah, blah, blah. We're traveling. Oh, we stopped at IHOP and we're banned from IHOP." He was like communicating with his buddies and we're like, but we have these whole conversations stuff. Now I can tell him about all the dumb shit I've done in the past. And I'm like, "Now you're an adult. Now you can hear this. Don't do this." So oh man. So with both your kids playing, I forgot to ask, will you ever bring your other son into the band?
It's came up.
We talked.
It's came up. I mean, we've talked about it, and what's crazy is that he can play every one of our songs.
He's actually a really good guitar player.
So like if I ever was down and he actually had some time to maybe brush up on some stuff, I think he could probably pull it off. Maybe. It would be close. I mean, the guitar solos would be hard for him, but I think everything else he would totally nail.
Nice.
My
You know.
a way better guitarist than I am. Just hands.
Yeah. Jeff's nasty, dude.
He
And he's
is.
only 17. He is nasty as hell.
Like
Way better than I was when I was 17, that's for sure.
I've talked to him and some of my friends about doing something together. It's just he's a great musician. I
Yeah.
cannot doubt it.
It's in the blood. It's in the family. There, you guys can do that, man. It's like I said. I'm not gonna lie. It is so neat seeing the family dynamic. And I've talked to other bands that are father and sons, and all of them have this really good. They got a shorthand between them and because you can communicate with your kid, and you can communicate with your dad where you couldn't communicate with another person.
Oh yeah.
My son and I talk about that all the time, how our shorthand, and we'll bring my older son in, and me and my son Joe will be like this, but me and Brandon, he's like, what, and me and Joe are just like getting it all done because we have that shorthand. He's been going to conventions with me since he was little. He now works for me, and it's great having that. And you guys working together and everything, you've got to have that shorthand that you've seemed to have developed over the years, and kicking butt. Now you got a you got your lady there, and she can develop the shorthand with you, and yeah. So
yeah.
But it's like I said, I love seeing the family dynamic of bands and stuff, because you hear the horror stories and stuff like that, but then you also hear, for every oasis, that the brothers absolutely despise each other since before there was even a band. And then, you get, you get like, I hate to say it, Leonard Skinner and stuff like that, which, yes, the one brother took over for the other one, but that had to be, there was already the interaction there before, and they, it continued.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So,
I love Leonard Skinner.
yeah, but you guys are really good, really tight band.
Thanks.
You've got a very, I would say you have a distinct sound, but that's hard to say because your music is different from song to song, not like drastically different, but there's a different feel to each song.
Yeah.
And you with your experience, and you guys have, like, you've got this nailed down. And I think that it's not a matter of if, I think it's just a matter of when. It's one of them things, I think, with your band. It's
Okay.
Thanks, man.
yeah, I think that it's going to be one of them. You're going to be at the right show with the right people one day, and it's going to be done, and you're going to be.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, before I forget to ask, who are some of the people that you've opened for?
Well, Frail.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the only really big band we've opened up for, right?
Silver
And we
Brothers.
did. Yeah, we did Sherman Fest, Dave Sherman. His benefit when he passed away, he was the bass player for Spirit Caravan, and he was the singer for Weed is Weed, and
We're playing we're playing Maryland Doomfest in June. That's our next gig. So
yeah, we'll be opening up for all kinds of big
Frederick,
bands.
yeah.
We opened up I think Twin Wizard. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, Twin Wizards, yeah.
yeah, forgot about that. Just a bunch of Demi bands.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Them's got some good stuff. I mean, there's a band that I used to absolutely love, and I have no idea whatever happened to them. I saw them on tour. They put out an album, and then nothing. You
What's
ever
the name
heard
of the band?
of Mount Salem?
No.
Mount Salem is the best way I can explain this. Was picture old school Black Sabbath with a female lead singer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mount Salem.
Mount Salem. They still got some of their music up on YouTube. They were great live. They had this little tiny skinny girl as the lead singer, and like their bass player, I guarantee you the dude was like 7 foot tall. And then of course he had big hair too. So you're just like, hi, how you doing? Jeez.
Have we heard of them?
I have not. I've not heard of them.
It might sound familiar, but I don't think I've actually heard of them.
Yeah.
Actually
I have
heard
not.
their music.
After this call.
Okay. Yeah. They did a song. I think it's Lucid was their single that dropped, but they've got other stuff out. But yeah, it's really dreamy and doomy and old school medley all at the same time. That kind of feel. So,
Okay.
so I got to ask. You said you got the Maryland Doom Fest coming up. Do you have any other upcoming events? Any
Full
show?
Party Palooza.
Yeah, we're July is really busy for us, so we just said we'll do Doomfest in June. That's it. And in July we have a big festival called Pool Party Palooza in Tiffin, Ohio.
Yep.
You ever heard of that
Never
place?
heard of that.
A lot of really good bands are playing on that bill.
And then we're gonna play at somewhere in Centerville, Ohio.
Yep. With Zero
We have-
Hour.
We have the
Mhm.
Halloween get
Okay.
after.
So you're gonna
Yeah.
cut through probably through my neck of the woods to go there. Shit, I might try to get to that one. Send me some information on
Okay.
that one, and
Okay.
see if I can try to make it to that one. Hopefully, if I'm not.
And then we're at Metal Massacre too in July.
Yeah, that's in
So
Pennsylvania.
July is booked. And then like JC said, we just booked a Halloween show in Akron. And then in August we're in Pennsylvania for another
Yeah.
for like an all-female kind of
Okay.
female metal concert. And then
We record some too.
Mhm.
Somewhere in between there. We're recording more for
and then October's
so-
Female Feature Fest, which is in Pennsylvania too. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're kind of
Oh,
busy.
yeah,
Busy enough.
gotta stay busy, and it is really cool. Like I said, you guys out there touring, out there doing shows, out there playing all over Ohio, Pennsylvania, all that funness. Like I said, definitely drop me, and I'll put some links to the events coming up at the end of the episode.
Okay.
Where can people find you again? I know we've already been over this, but we'll do it again. Where can people find you online?
Everywhere. Well, for social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just because even those three can become overwhelming times when you have to keep posting. We're pretty much on all streaming platforms. Spotify, YouTube, and Bandcamp's probably the most popular for us. So,
Yep.
and then our merch you can buy on Bandcamp.
And like I said before, you have some of the best merch. I love the designs of your shirts.
Oh, thank you.
Those are
Thank you,
freaking
Seven.
awesome. Yeah,
Seven Goza.
yeah. So one of these days, I actually got to get around to ordering one. I'm not. I'm swamped. I have my convention next month. It's a month out, and I am totally not ready for it.
Does it take that long to get ready for it?
Oh, I have to
Months?
book guests way out. I got to start selling tables way out. And the worst part about it is I have people who do my show. It's my 10th year, who've done my show almost since the beginning, and it will always wait till last minute to get their table. And I'm just like, just do it now so I can just have money and do everything that I need to pay for. Because right now everything's out of pocket. It's one of them things I have to pay for the guests. I have to pay out of pocket for their fees, their plane tickets, their hotel rooms. Then I got to pay for the room out of pocket, and then I got to wait until everybody pays me for their tables and the door, and then I got to recoup all that, and then if I have to borrow money, pay back the money I've borrowed to pay for everything, and it's always something. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is my first 2 days. And then on top of that, I'm trying to plan to do a music show local with as many of the people that I've been able to have on here to
Yeah.
be at the show. So I would, when I get this figured out, I'll reach out to you too, because we're going to
Okay.
talk to people from Ohio, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, and just have one big talk and roll fest or something like that, where we have all these bands from everywhere. I even we have my one of my customers is a music guy. I have music guys and I have sound guys who do big shows, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll do it." I'm like, "Sweet." I already got that. Now you got to have the venue locked in and all that funness. But
Yeah.
as my wife tells me, slow the fuck down. There's other stuff you need to do. But I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. Thank you for the music. Thank you for doing the show again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yet again, I'm going to ask you again if I could put one of your songs at the end of the show as the outro.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Play anything you want, man.
And I always like to ask, because you never know, because I had one guy say yes for another thing I did, and then their record company went no. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like,
We don't have a record company,
Yeah.
so it's all good.
Yeah,
"Stuff
yeah.
in my butt."
We're not signed.
See, that's where you want to stay, man, because you can you don't have to pay nobody.
Yeah.
Release your own
Yeah.
music. You do everything yourselves, and then that's all yours. All yours.
It's probably the smartest thing to do.
It seems to be. We've noticed that a lot with bands that have just decided they don't worry about record labels, they don't worry about management, they don't worry about representation, because they do that all themselves, because the internet makes it super easy to do.
Yeah.
You can put your own music out in a
I
heartbeat.
have to admit, though, since we've gotten management, a lot of way better opportunities have came our way, though. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things I can't tell because we don't know for sure if it's happening. But if things are going the way that I'm hearing them, the next time we talk on your show or the next time you hear anything about it, it's going to be a lot of big shit happening next year for us. So
And
stuff that I know that, because I do most of the booking and most of the well, she does most of the like promoting and stuff, like the internet, social media shit, like all the your general manager crap dealing with booking. I do all of that, and there's no way in hell I could get us on half the fest this guy's trying to get us on. So there's no way. They would look at me and be like, "Who are you again? What? Oh yeah, no, never mind." Yeah, because I've tried it all, and
Small potatoes.
there's been times, actually, most of the time I don't even get a response.
Wow.
So and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna get you on this." I'm like, "Well, there's no way in fucking hell I could do that. So thank you."
Yeah.
So I'll give him that. So
Yeah.
definitely management's it's a game. It's a game to play, but I think it's worth it. So far, it's worth it.
Okay.
So far, I mean,
So far. So it can always screw up on the end. But you guys, you're happy with what they're doing, so you're good.
so far.
So Jacius, do you have anything to say here at the end?
Not
Nah.
Nothing.
Do you want people to follow you as an individual? Do you have anything,
I have Facebook. I'm pretty much on all social medias, but I mainly use Facebook, Instagram, and that's really about it. I have TikTok, but I don't use TikTok. I don't post anything.
Yeah, I just bailed on TikTok. The YouTube the YouTube shorts have gone through the roof, where TikTok was dying. And I was like, fine, I'll do one less thing every day that I don't have to screw with.
Yeah.
So
social
TikTok
media.
is not a thing now.
No, still a thing. It's just
It's
It's just his platform took off more on the YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
I don't
It
even,
just
I don't
depends.
even know. I'm not on any of that shit. So.
He just has Facebook. That's it.
I fought TikTok tooth and nail. And then Hawk was like, we should go ahead and put it on TikTok. So I got everything. We were doing decent number, our numbers were always slightly going up almost every. Then all of a sudden they tanked like nothing. And so I went and was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? So I started changing up how I did everything. And I'd put up one and then it would still be bad. So I was like, all right, well, I'll put it over on YouTube. YouTube went whoop, and it just keeps going up. Yeah, I get one that I'll do that doesn't pull good numbers, but whatever. And then one of yours was like hit like 5,000 views in like a very short period of time.
Well, yeah.
I'm like,
I know those are fun. I love watching those, by the way.
yeah. I was like, why did it not work with the other one? It worked with this one. So I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll figure it out.
Yep. Just never know.
I think it's because TikTok pushes like the most popular stuff going on right now towards the people who have TikTok. I think that's the reason why with people that have like small
algorithm.
whatnot struggle a lot with that app.
Yeah, I just want to know how I went from, the high hundreds. I know this is bad for high hundreds, down to like
Nothing,
like 15, 20. And you're just like, what? I looked at one and it was like at 4. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? I'm like figuring it out. I'm like, oh, fucking know. So yeah, it's all about the algorithm, man. If you can figure that crap out, you're a damn genius. And it's like if I could figure out how my other shows, I have one show that's done like almost 200,000 views now. And I'm like, if I could get that every week, holy crap. Nope. Week to week, all over.
Yeah.
So, yep. So you got to get, when you guys are ready, when you got stuff going on, drop me a line. We'll get you back on the show. No problem.
Sweet.
Or
Yeah.
if you ever get bored and want to talk music and dumb shit, you can always do that
Okay.
too. And because we're putting shows together almost all the time, and I get do my other show tomorrow and do my other show tonight, and so I don't know how you guys do it, because you got to handle all that fun stuff plus play music. So I'm amazed at what you guys do. It's crazy. So and you guys are close to my age, and I'm like, I'm tired all the freaking time, and I see you guys busting your ass out there, and I'm like, I need to keep up.
Oh, we're tired all the time too.
I get to
Understand.
I get to, you're turning 50 when? I was like, next month. And they're like, shit, okay.
You're turning 50?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll be 50 in what's the day? The 21st. 28 days. So June 19th, I'll be 50 years old. Old fart, yeah.
I'm right behind you, dude.
Oh yeah. I love doing what I do. And I have a buddy of mine who's like, oh, when you gonna grow up? I was like, when I'm in the ground, I don't know. I have no plans. I still listen to the same music I listened to in high school. Seriously, I play Hot Wheels with my kid.
Oh yeah.
And there's comic books everywhere and toys and stuff. I was like, I have no intention of growing up. Shit.
My dad used to build model kits all the time. That's all he used to do in high school.
Yeah. Model cars,
or just all kinds of stuff.
Mainly cars.
Yeah, we have some model planes and stuff too, but yeah, mostly cars.
Yeah. So before I leave here today, gotta ask, favorite car?
My favorite car?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Putting me on the spot.
Does it have to be a car?
You've just entered a new world with these two now.
Yeah. So
it could be anything.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a van.
Be a van.
Right?
A 1966 Ford van. Yeah. With the flat nose.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But if it had to be a car, it'd have to be like a 1970 Barracuda or something.
Okay, you can appreciate this. Not far from here, somebody has a my dream car, 72 Hemi Cuda.
That's the
The
shit.
car I've wanted my entire life. My dad's best friend had a 74, but I've always loved this car. There's one not far from here. It's just a rolling chassis with like the ass into the car. They want $1,000 for it. And I sent a picture to my dad. I was like, hey, I can finally afford a Cuda. And he goes, are you buying it? I was like, I got no place to put it. I was like, but I kind of want to buy it. Just so I go, I have a 72 Hemi Cuda. Don't look at it, but I have. I was like, I can put it together one piece at a time till I get to the engine, and then I can't afford it.
Yeah.
That would be my dream car, my favorite car. A 6.9 Charger 500.
That's a badass car.
Yeah.
My two favorites, the 72 Hemi Cuda and the 1977 black and gold Firebird Trans Am.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I will own another. I had an 80 red one, and my goal is to finally have at least a black and gold. It doesn't have to be 77, but I at least want a black and gold Firebird Trans Am. So, but all right. Well, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer because we
okay.
can talk about
Good talking to you.
Yeah, good talking to you, and best of luck on all your journeys and all your stuff that you have going on.
Thanks.
You too.
And,
You too, sure.
Yeah, and occasionally take a break from the band because you holy crap, 3. So take care, guys, and I will talk to you again soon. And hopefully this will drop Thursday if I can get to it. So take care.
Okay.
See ya.
Take it
Bye.
easy.
Bye.
Earth, air, fire, water, flow through me. Make me the best I can be. Cleanse, protect, cast. I invoke the spirit to make my spell last.